Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with the next part of Bolt Action. Definitely enjoying this game. Gotta say, highly recommend. It is a fun little miniature skirmish game. Did want to address a couple of points that I picked up on from the last video because I am a little new to Bolt Action, so I am prone to make a mistake here or there. And I'm not talking about a little modifier here or there that I might miss. I did misread the part about shooting through friendly units. Now, thankfully, it didn't really make a difference in our game, but I remember reading in the rule book where it was talking about that you can shoot through your friendly units, they'll move around, but what they meant is like the squad. So if the squad is in this shape here, the guys in the back could shoot through the others. You didn't have to worry about it. In other words, you don't have to have a squad in a line, but like our leader here could not there shoot through the squad. Okay, so the vehicle I would actually allow to fire since he was firing up into a building. So with his main gun, I wouldn't really fault him for firing that, but the machine gun, I would fault him for firing through basically these troops at the Japanese troops that were over there. So you can't fire through different elements. So whatever you're drawing a dice for, whatever operates off a single die, yeah, you can fire through those. If it's a separate die, like these units, then you can't fire through them. And something else, a couple of little minor things actually. The armored car I had fire its machine gun and its big main cannon. And the main cannon was fine and the machine gun was fine, except for the fact that it was the wrong machine gun. Because on our armored core here, we have a coaxial machine gun and the heavy 50 cal that's there on the top. I actually should have fired the heavy and not the coaxial. So if you have a coaxial, that's the one that can't fire if you fire the main cannon. So basically, if you've got a gun that's right there next to the main cannon, like we see here on the scout car, the scout car can't fire both of those at the same time, but it can fire that main cannon and the 50 cal. Same thing for our Japanese tank. And the Japanese tank, without getting long-winded on it, when I was reading through their little example of play, y'all, basically that's a medium tank, not a light tank, but I was thinking that it was a light tank because the Japanese stats for their tanks are a little bit lower, lower velocity shells, a little bit lighter armored tanks. So it's like a light tank. It's a medium tank with the stats of a light tank effectively. So to save myself any confusion, I'm just going to treat it as a light tank for the purposes of this first learning game here. That way I don't have too much confusion going on with it. But other than that, we are good to jump back into the game. And remember, our guys are all out here. We have Alpha Squad, the leader, and the armored car there. And I'll switch back and forth again between the overhead and the smaller camera as needed. Bravo Squad and the bazooka element down over on this side of the town, trying to make their end run in to go into the center. They have discovered that there is a larger Japanese element here than they were originally anticipating. And then we have the Japanese leadership and another squad pouring out of the tavern. So we're going to have to see what happens with them. And that light medium tank in the back that is now set to push up. And when it comes to stuff like that, yes, it can get like cover or stuff like that. But when it comes to armored vehicles, I'm going to let them drive through like smaller wooden stuff like these fences here. The armored car could just drive right through that. If it does, it'll just bust the fence. I've got little pieces of broken fence I can actually put up in case it tears out a section, in case the car decides to race up. All right, so since we are set, let's go ahead and get our dice bag going again here. And we will shuffle up and deal, make it real good. What are we going to get? And we got ourselves a Marine die. I'm definitely going to take advantage of my leader because my leader is between 6 inches of both of those guys, so I can do that. And I definitely want to act first with the Marines this time because they are not in a good position. So what am I going to be doing here? I think both of the leader and the squad, Alpha Squad there, are going to get a run. Because I think we're going to have them run that way up towards the village. Because I could have them jump across here. They could do an advance. But if they did the advance and got across to get in closer so their shots would be more effective, they can't run, so they can't make it as far. They have to worry about the fact that they got pinning markers. That's already a -2 to their shooting. Whole lot of issues going on there. But they have the leadership bonus, the morale bonus of the leader there with them. Gives them a +2. So even though their morale is down by 2 from the pinning markers, they still have a leadership value of 10, which is good because now they can pass their tests. So I think we're going to run with both our leader and our Marines, and we're going to have them push up along the fence to get that building in between them and the sandbags. So they'll be out of the way and they can push across on the next turn, get up against that walkway and come around in a more advantageous position so they can start putting out some heavy fire and maybe have some cover from that sniper that's going to pick them off otherwise. And for our armored car here, I think I'm just going to leave the armored car where he is, keep a little distance, and just have him lay down some covering fire. And the cool part is, since I'm having the leader do this, I can have them activate in whatever order I want. And I'm trying to decide, like, what do I do with these guys? Like, with the armored car, do I put him in ambush? Because the Japanese do have a racial bonus, not racial, I mean, I guess it's kind of racial, but their, what's the word I'm looking for? Their army bonus is close quarters combat. Just like I was thinking, I went back and checked the rule book. So they want to get in close and try to put some hurt on it. And close combat is hard in this game. When you get in close combat, someone dies. An element is wiped out. So I'm thinking if I put him in ambush, that makes it to where they run forward. They're going to get shot to pieces, but that automatically means they're not going to run forward. So I think we're just going to take the shot and hope for the best, because I can fire that heavy machine gun onto him and the shell, because he can fire armor piercing or HE shells. And that HE is only a 1 inch, but with that 1 inch, I can take out a couple of guys. So, and it gets a +1 when it comes to its damage rolls. So I think that's what we're going to do there. All right, so give me a sec. Let me move the squads out of the way because they definitely have to move before he fires. I forgot, before I do this, I started moving some of them, but I'll move them back on the off chance that they fail. Since they're pinned, they have to do their morale check, essentially. Roll 2d6 and roll equal to or under their morale value, which they did. They got a 5, so they're good. That actually removes one of these pinning markers. Cool part is if you roll double ones, you can actually remove d6 + 1 pinning markers. So let's go ahead and finish their run out. All right, so they got their run done. They're nice and tucked in. They're definitely in cover behind that building. Neither one of the Japanese squads over there can get any line of sight onto them, so we're good. We can continue on with our armored car. All right, so the armored car is going to fire. And before I continue, let me say thanks for the well wishes. I have been definitely a little under the weather, but don't know what's wrong yet. Not sick. It's something extremely painful. That's all I can say. So hopefully it goes away soon. But anyway, get back onto it. Since he's firing his HE, it's 1 inch, right? One of these links, and if we look, almost fell down. I can get 3 of these guys with a 1 inch circle there if I'm just spinning it right over top of them. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to count that as 3 because I can hit 3 there, 3 there. It doesn't really matter where I put it. I can hit 3 of them. And that should definitely be Actually, we'll just have our car in it because we're at far ranges. Definitely within 24 inches. Yes, they are within 24 inches, but they are under the 18 inches. Okay, so let me figure this out. Heavy machine gun gets a +1 to its penetration, but it only fires 3 shots. He's not moving when he's firing at him, and he's not at long range. They are in cover, so they're getting the +1. Let me think. Okay, they're getting +1, and that should be it. Just the cover. Cover, yeah. I'm trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anything for this shot. Okay, we've got 3 for the heavy machine gun, and then it's just a single shot for the light anti-tank gun, the HE shell. But it is +4 on its penetration. Although since we're firing HE, it's not going to be that. It's going to be just +1 when it comes to damage. So we'll set these out of the way and let's roll. Basically, I need 4 or higher to hit these guys, and I can hit 3 of them in one go. Come on. Give me 4 or higher, baby. 4! That's what I'm talking about. All right. Grab us 3 other die. Pull this one out of the way. Now this is for the damage roll. The HE 1 inch gets +1, and it gets how many pinning markers? It gets D2 pinning markers. So actually, let's go ahead and do the pinning markers real quick because I'll forget that. 1, 2, 3 is 1 pin marker, and 4, 5, 6 is going to be 2. Hopefully we'll get 4, 5, 6. Yes, 2 pin markers. They're getting obliterated from that. That has to do with HE shells putting out just more hurt. So getting bombed into the ground can make people really, really scared. In other words, all right, so now we got to roll for our damage. HE 1 inch +1. They're 4s normally, so now we're looking for 3s or better, and we will kill some troops. Oh, yes, kill them. Kill those Japanese. We got 2. 2 ain't bad, but we still got our heavy machine gun to fire, which is going to be a lot harder to hit. All right, so 2 of them, and we'll just take 2 basic riflemen out of it. Let's see, I think this guy's a basic rifleman. No, wait, he's the squad leader. We'll pull him out, and we'll pull this rifleman out. That way, I'm not taking any of their good guys. We'll leave their better guys, although they've only got 9 rifles. And, yeah, 9 rifles and a squad leader with a submachine gun. Now, again, normally that 6 would be exceptional damage. There would be a chance I could pick who the target was going to be, but I'm ignoring that for this first game. Just try again, make it easier. So, for our heavy machine gun, though, when we're firing at them, he's getting the long range penalty, and they got cover. So I think I'm going to need 5s or better to hit on this, but I'm still getting a +1 to the damage roll. All right, so what are they going to get? Come on, big money. No. Whiff. That heavy machine gun didn't even put a pin on them. That did nothing. That did nothing. Oh, God. Well, at least the anti-tank shell did well. All right, so I'll go for that. But that takes care of that guy. That actually takes care of 3 of my squads. I've only got 2 left. So let's actually rotate our camera around so we can see more of the action of what's going on. All right, let's dig in our bag. The Japanese are going to have to change their game plan because the Marines are flanking them on each side. And we got a Japanese, and they have got to rally. They have got to rally. We're going to go with rally there on the front because, and you guys tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, but I think I am right. You can get enough pin markers to be wiped out, considered like routed, and it's however many men are in your unit. But I think that's how many men you start with, not how many you have left. And the cool part is if you lose half your squad in one volley, so let's say my armored car and its firing had taken out 5 guys, they would all be gone. The rest of them would just rout automatically because they were torn up so bad. We're going to give them a rally attempt. here because they have got to get rid of some of those pin markers. Okay, so we're going to have them do the rally, but even though they're rallying to get rid of some of those pin markers, they still have to take a morale test. And their morale is 9, is considered 9, even though they have 4 pin markers. So it'd normally be 5 for any other order. But when it comes to rally, you can ignore the pin markers that are there. If they fail this test, they have to go down. But if they pass, they get to remove D6 plus 1. So let's roll, see if they pass. They need 9 or under. And they got it. So they do get to remove D6 plus 1 of their pin markers. Ooh, 5. They get to remove them all. They got lucky. Those little SOBs. So they spent their turn getting rid of their pin markers, which actually isn't too bad. It gets them back into this fight, but they're not going to be able to do much else until the next round. Hopefully I can get some guys in a position to put some rounds downrange. Let's draw another die. We got another Marine. Sure. Let me turn this around. All right. I've got Bazooka Squad and these guys. If these guys advance, that's only 6 inches. It's roughly about here just to get the front guy to fire. And I could get a line of sight on them, but it's going to be in cover. And they wouldn't be getting the movement penalty, though. But I would only be able to get maybe the 2 bars, but that's 4 shots. 4 shots with the only penalty being the fact that they're in cover, because it shouldn't be long range. Yeah, they'd be within 15 inches, I think. Oh, what do I do? Oh, I'm thinking about it because I got to get these guys starting to get stuck in. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to give them an advance order. Have as many of them move up to get lines of fire. There is some stuff, and you guys can't see it too well on this piece of terrain, but the bottom of it is effectively just 4 posts. All right, so the top has a floor, but the rest of it is just essentially cover. So they can shoot through that. So that gives them cover. Even if they're far enough around over in this way that they're shooting at this angle, they're not shooting behind the sandbags because they're still shooting around this. So I'd still give the cover save the cover to those guys. So yeah, let's go for it. Because I can't measure this before I do it, but we got to start trying to do something. So let me find advance. Grab my little measuring tool here, and we'll move them forward. Yeah, I can get some guys in there to put some hurt down on them. Not too many. Maybe 4 guys, if I'm lucky, firing around the corner of this building here. And I even want to turn them so they're facing that way. Oh, I think it's 3 guys. I think that's as much as... Well, no, I'll give them the 4th. Looking down at this angle, yeah, I'll give them the 4. I think the rest are going to be just too far up. So let me flick this back over to advance. Put it right there. And we'll just move the rest up here, leaving the bazookas there in the back to hopefully do something with these bazookas and the tank later. All right. Actually, I'm going to give them 5 because you guys can't see it too well. Drawing the line from the corner of the building comes to right about here. So they got 3 rifles and 2 automatic rifles. Aiming in through over here to them. Plenty of cover, so we'll give them the cover save, but I want to get some shots going downrange. Sure. With the cover, they're going to have 2 for each one of the BARs. So that's those, and then 3 for the 3 rifle guys. That's it. No extra stuff getting to fire. The rest of the guys aren't in range yet. Submachine gun isn't in range at all. So, yeah. I'm going to need 4-ups on these because they are getting the cover save. But we got no pin markers, so hopefully that will do us some good. All right, let's push up. Make sure I got all my dice. All right. That's not too bad. That is not too bad. 4 out of 7, pretty decent. And we put a pin marker back on them, keeping their heads down. And no plus for the damage. Their morale's still good. Yeah, they're regular, so 4 up to kill them. Come on, let's take out some of these guys, see if we can get them to break. And, ooh, that is 3. I will take 3 dead guys any day. Oh, it's times like this I'm looking at it like, oh, why am I not playing with the pick the guys? I could pick out their squad leader, which would take out an extra morale from them. And I could pick the guys from the back, but don't want to do that because I'm kind of screwing them. If I do that, all right, rifle guy, and rifle guy. So that leaves their squad leader there in the front. And it's actually, I re-looked as far as the pin markers are concerned. It's to whatever their original morale was. So your morale is going to be 8, 9, or 10, depending if they're inexperienced, regular, or veteran, and whatever those units are. If they happen to get that many pin markers, generally they'll be dead by then. But if they do, they rout. All right, let's draw for the Japanese because I've only got 1 order left. And yeah, definitely going to get the Japanese. All right. I know what's coming. We got to give them some payback. All right, see that tank back over there? We're going to move that tank up. So as we're moving the tank, he is going to do an advance order, which means he can move 9 inches and pivot 1 time up to 90 degrees. So my question is when to pivot him and who to target. Because I'm thinking either armored car or this squad. Because there's an opening, again, underneath this building that I'm going to give him credit for the cover. Because I gave credit to the Japanese there. That if the Marines can shoot under this building, the tank can shoot under this building. But they'll get a cover save for it. So, let's see here. I want to put, because I was originally thinking having the tank push forward and shoot the armored car. And that might be what I have him do still. Because if he takes out the armored car, that leaves the Marines only with a bazooka and potentially running on top of it and trying to take out a tank in close range with like chucking grenades at it, which ain't going to work. Basically, he could rout the Marines at that point. But he could put a lot of damage on these guys with a medium machine gun, and he could do the same thing, an HE shell on them. Both options are good. Now, I'm going to have him go after, instead of the Marines, I'm going to have him go after the armored car, because if he takes the armored car, that's a game changer. Looking at it, that's going to get him roughly up here to that, and we'll have him pivot just a little bit. A little turn on this thing turns, and it's so cool. Basically, he's got a straight shot at him. And the big thing I'm looking for here is he within 24 inches for his shot? And he is not. So he's going to have a long-range penalty on top of it. But hopefully, he can fire his main cannon at him. No, I was thinking I'd have him fire his machine gun at him, but that's not going to work. Because his machine gun, he doesn't have a heavy machine gun. He's got a medium machine gun, and the medium machine gun doesn't have the penetration to penetrate the armored car. And since the armored car isn't even lower experience, if they were inexperienced, you could go ahead and shoot at them to put pin markers on them. Even if they can't take damage, they could get pin markers just by being hit. But they're veterans, so they won't fall for that. So that means the only thing that can work for him is his heavy shell. So let's figure this out. He's firing at long range and he advanced. So that's -2. So he's looking for a 5 or better to get a shot off. Armored car, we're not going to give him cover. That little bit of light fencing isn't going to be enough to stop that when he's firing at him. And it looks like that's all he's going to be able to fire. Yeah, light. All right, we're going to fire the heavy tank shell Oh, okay, here we go. We need a 5 or better to put some hurt downrange. Did he get it? He got it. Oh, no. Oh, even if he doesn't destroy him, this is a game changer because there's a pin marker on him now. Oh, that is bad. That is so bad. It is all on that bazooka team now. Okay. When it comes to damage on vehicles, we got to see if he penetrates first, and then we'll roll here because there could be the potential that he doesn't get destroyed. We'd be looking for a 1, 2, or 3 there, though, to hope, because 4, 5, or 6, he's just decimated. Okay. Our armor for him, though, the armor for the Japanese tank's an 8. The armor for him is a 7. He's an armored car. And with the 4 he's getting, I need a 3 or better. Actually, I need a 4 or better to actually get to that damage table. A 3 or better will get to the damage table, but can't destroy him. It can only do a 1, 2, or 3 to him because it's considered superficial damage. So I'm really looking for a 1 or 2 here. 1 or 2. No, he got him. He got him. Oh, he's down. They pinned in the first shot. Damn. Oh, the Japanese made the right choice there. Okay. Now we got to roll and see what happens to him. I'm hoping that it's crew stunned or immobilized. If I get a 4, 5, or 6 here, the tank is just done. What does he get? 2. Okay, immobilized. I can deal with that. Okay. So you guys see here is referenced. He's mobilized. He does have +1 pin marker for being immobilized. And let's see what it says on it. Vehicle cannot move for the rest of the game. The vehicle has already taken an action this turn. Flip the order die to down. If a further immobilized result is suffered, the vehicle is knocked out. The vehicle has 1 or more turrets. Also roll for turret jam. Okay. Where is turret jam? How do you roll for turret jam? It's not listed here. Okay, to speed up time, because I can't find it, I'm going to just ignore it for the time being. Because even if his turret jams, he's pointing in the direction he wants to be pointed in anyway. And his heavy machine gun's up there and could still spin around and fire at everyone. So I'm not horribly worried about it. He's pointing at the Japanese. So it's really not an end-all, be-all for him. If it comes into play later, I'll try to figure it out. But I'll take a look in between games, see if I can figure out what that's about. All right, let's draw for our next Japanese. Actually, no, I got one more. Nope, another Japanese. All right, so they have snipers. And their sniper... Ooh, I moved this squad in range of that sniper. He can shoot at the bars. Yeah, if I get down and look at it, he's got a line of sight, so that's what he's going to do. He's going to take his shot, see if he can pick off one of these guys. And they're definitely out in the open, so that is not good. Let me see if he's going to have a long-range penalty. Is he? Yep, he is going to have a long-range penalty to hit, so he's looking for 4 or higher to get at one of these bars. No, he missed. Yes, thank God. Oh, look at that. Look, he's just sitting out there in the open, man. He was going to go down. I am very, very thankful that I did not get shot by that damn sniper. That squad is the only one that's doing really good. Well, they've only lost 1. This Japanese squad has been just devastated. So, not horrible. All right, let's draw again. I got 3 dice left. Another Japanese. And I think we're going to have these guys move out. Or I might have the leader move out first. Well, actually, I could go ahead and activate the leader, too. Pull out their last die. We'll get their both their guys left because these guys are getting chewed up. And there's got to be a better spot because my Marines can keep finishing off that squad and then keep flanking the building. And if they don't come out, then that gives me the chance to come around and hit them from 2 sides. I could have a squad coming in this way, squad coming in this way, maybe potentially hit some with the armored car, but I don't think I really can hit them with that. Put some bazooka rounds on them. But if they push forward, they can give some support to the tank and its assault as well. So yeah, that's what we're probably going to have those guys do. All right then, and definitely one die left in. It's my bazooka guys, and I really think I should have done something else with these guys because they're just tucked in here. This squad's a little pinned down right now because they're taking sniper fire, potentially in the line of sight of that tank. They have driven back the Japanese, so the squad that's up front right over here. But I don't want to run the bazookas out front, so I think I might just have them tuck around this edge of this building so maybe they can move forward later if they get a shot and go around and pop out and just shoot that tank. That's my goal. I'd like to hit him from the side, but I don't know that I'll get the chance. But at least this way, if the tank comes forward, I can pop out and get him. If he tries to come around this way, just depending on which way he goes, I can put some hurt on him, try to get him taken out. All right, so at the end of the second round, things are getting fishy. The Marines have all but lost their armored car. It's immobilized. It's got a couple of pin markers. It's not going to be able to put a whole lot of rounds down range. I'm trying to decide, do I just fire with it and hope for the best because it's got a tank shell and I'm hoping that it could hit the medium tank. It was my goal to try to take out the medium tank if it pushed forward with that armored car, use its maneuverability. But then I fell into that trap of, these guys are out there and they're just easy Japanese targets. You want to squish them. But as soon as he poked out, he took some hurt. And there we go. Just to make it look a little better, take some black cotton, put on the back of it to signify that his engine is smoking. And Alpha Squad and their process of running around the village has gotten a little out. So they're going to have to spend the next turn moving up. And I was planning on this game being about a 5 or 6 turn game. It's going to take them at least 2 turns just to get back in because it's going to get 1 just to get up there and then 2 to jump on that ledge to shoot down on them. But then they would be open to that tank, putting some hurt on them. So we'll have to see how that plays out for them. Maybe if the Marines can wipe out the rest of the squad, they'll do all right. But those Japanese over there, they're all kind of pinned in a nice defensive position. I actually put those 2 machine gunner guys right behind that table. That way they're effectively just putting their machine gun on top of it and laying down some fire. We'll have to see how the next turns pan out. You guys let me know what you think of the game. Definitely, I got to say I'm enjoying it. These little miniatures are fun as hell to paint. Looks great on the table. And the more you play the game, the more the rules just start to snap with you. It's the little things, the trying to figure out exactly how vehicles work, the special stuff, firing into buildings, that type of crap, the usual stuff you're going to encounter when it comes to war games. But the basic rules of the game are so simple. Put some hurt on someone, put some pin markers down, get their heads down, and then try to close with and kill or capture them depending on your goal. Marines, we definitely want to kill everything. Yeah. All right, that's going to be it for this one. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next one.